Discover the secret to success with Psalm 27 and Napoleon Hill. Do you truly believe that prayer alone is enough to succeed in life? Most people spend their lives asking God for peace, for money, for direction. And yet they remain anxious, insecure, and afraid. Why? The answer, my friend, lies in a principle few know. Faith without action is merely superstition. I am Napoleon Hill. And today, I will show you how Psalm 27 holds the secret to spiritual, emotional, and financial success. Something I discovered after studying the world's most successful men. Prepare yourself for a journey that will flip your mental switch. How many times have you woken up with a heavy heart, as if an invisible weight had settled on your chest even before you opened your eyes? Anxiety, fear, doubt. You stare at the ceiling and ask yourself, will things get better? Will I be able to pay my bills this month? Am I on the right path? And no matter how hard you try to hide it with a smile inside, you are stuck. I know what that is like. I have been there. Not once, but many times. During an extremely difficult phase of my life, when my mission to study and teach the principles of success was still a distant vision and discredited by almost everyone, I woke up with a shattered heart. There was no money left to support my family, and criticism surrounded me like vultures waiting for my downfall. Everything around me said I had failed. But that day, something different happened. Before I even put my feet on the ground, I closed my eyes and said aloud, asterisk, asterisk, the Lord is my light and my salvation. Whom shall I fear? Asterisk, asterisk, I did not know it yet, but in that instant I was activating the spark of something that would change my life forever. This phrase is not just beautiful, it is powerful, it is mental reprogramming. Science today already knows thoughts have frequency, words mold emotions. Researchers at Stanford University discovered that positive affirmations change neural patterns in regions linked to courage and clarity. In other words, what you say molds what you feel, and what you feel directs what you do. Have you ever noticed that, in general, most people start their day checking their phones, diving straight into bad news, demanding messages or comparisons on social media? It is no wonder they spend their day stuck, unproductive, and anxious. Their minds were fed darkness from the very first moment. How do you expect to have a day of victory if you started the day at an emotional disadvantage? Psalm 27 is more than a prayer. It is a weapon. David did not declare these words when everything was going well. He was surrounded by enemies, betrayed, in crisis. And even then, he chose to declare light. The light he saw was not external, it was internal. And that is where the secret lies. When I discovered that asterisk, asterisk, faith, by itself, does not move mountains. Asterisk, asterisk, I understood why so many religious people lived in scarcity. Faith needs to unite with directed thought, and that thought with action. I called this creative action the junction of emotion with intellect. This is what activates the subconscious mind, which in turn tunes into the infinite source of intelligence, or as David called it, the Lord. You might be asking yourself, but how do I apply this in my life, Napoleon? I am not a king, like David, nor a writer. I will show you how. Even living in the 21st century, you can apply this starting tomorrow. Even better, starting today. Tomorrow, when you wake up, before touching your phone, sit on your bed and say aloud with conviction, asterisk, asterisk, the Lord is my light and my salvation, whom shall I fear? Asterisk, asterisk, even if your mind doubts, even if your situation seems unchanged. This declaration is like planting a seed. You do not see the root growing, but it is strengthening in silence. Then grab a notebook and write down all your fears. Do not run from them, right? I am afraid of losing my job. I am afraid of not being enough. I am afraid of never fulfilling my purpose. Now, next to each fear, write a greater truth, a promise that nullifies that lie. Example, I am afraid of scarcity gives the Lord as my shepherd. I shall not want. Reinforce this contrast every day. This is not cheap self-help. It is spiritual neural reprogramming. And then act. Take a step, even a small one. Call that client, send that resume, study that subject you have been putting off. Light does not appear when everything is perfect. It manifests in the midst of chaos, exactly as it did for me. Most people wait to feel secure before acting. But the truth is that security comes from action with faith, not from waiting. And look, I am not telling you to ignore your feelings. You will feel fear. You will feel insecurity. There will be days when it seems like nothing is working. But it is exactly at that moment that you need to choose the light, the perspective, the attitude, the focus. And this reminds me of an episode I never forgot. I was in New York trying to publish one of my first texts. I entered a major publishing house with my manuscript under my arm. The editor read the first page, looked at me and said, "This does not sell." But still in the taxi, with tears in my eyes, I closed my eyes and said, "The Lord is my light." And in that instant, a completely new idea came to me, an approach no one had used before. That was the embryo of what would later become ***, the law of triumph. You see, light gives you ideas. It does not free you from confrontation, but it empowers you for it. It does not show you the whole path, only the next step, and that is enough. Harvard Medical School. PUBLISHED. Research showing that people who maintain a routine of meditation and spiritual affirmation have *25% more chances of remaining resilient in times of crisis. This is not a coincidence. It is a pattern. So, if you are stuck today not knowing where to restart, I tell you, start with the light. Start with your confession of faith. Start by declaring who your source is, before any plan, before any action. And do this every day. Because when you choose to start the day with light, you begin to live with direction. And whoever has direction does not get lost. You may stumble, you may even fall. But with light, you always get up. And then I ask you, whom have you been afraid of? The future? Others' opinions? Failure? Will you continue letting these shadows paralyze you? Or will you let the light move you? The choice is yours. Faith is already inside. Only one step is missing. And when you take that step, the impossible begins to recede. Have you ever tried to appear strong on the outside while feeling like you were about to collapse inside? Have you ever caught yourself smiling in public while inside everything in you screamed for peace, for rest, for a safe place? Me too. Behind every great achievement, every book, every lecture I gave, there were silent nights where I questioned myself. Can I really handle another day? And it was at that point of fragility that I discovered what truly sustains a person. It is not fame. It is not money. It is inner fortitude. David in Psalm 27 did not say that God was just any shelter. He stated with conviction, ***, the Lord is the stronghold of my life. ***, he is not talking about physical walls nor castles of stone, but about a strength that is born from within. A strength that does not depend on praise, financial stability, or anyone's approval. True fortitude is spiritual, emotional, and silent. It is what keeps you standing, even when everything around you is crumbling. During the years I studied over 500 of America's most successful men, I discovered a pattern. They all had something beyond technique. They had emotional balance. This was not a gift, it was trained. They knew how to protect their minds. How? To conserve emotional energy and where to seek strength when the world seemed to offer nothing. Many believe that security lies in money, but I saw with my own eyes fortunes lost due to emotional instability. It was with men who, even having millions, were destroyed by anxiety, anger, guilt, and vanity. Because without a firm center, life collapses from within, and wealth slips away like sand through the fingers. Do you know anyone like that? Someone who seems to have everything and yet lives tired, explosive, disconnected from their own life. Science has already proven emotional regulation is one of the competencies most directly linked to physical health, work performance, and lasting happiness. What David understood millennia ago, today's positive psychology confirms. And so the question you need to ask yourself is not, how do I make more money? Or how do I acquire more things? The real question is, ***, on what foundation? Am I building my stronghold? Asterisk, asterisk, because you see, life will hit you. That is inevitable. The difference between falling and remaining standing lies in what sustains you internally. That is why I say the greatest skill you can develop is learning to take care of your inner stronghold. How do you do that? I'll explain. First, set aside time every day, even if it is just 10 or 15 minutes. Use this time for silence, for prayer, for reading something uplifting, especially the scriptures. Do not skip this. This is an investment in your soul. You feed your body, do you not? Why leave your mind and spirit hungry? Second, asterisk, asterisk, carefully select what enters your mind. Asterisk, asterisk, you do not need to watch every tragedy in the newspaper. You do not need to listen to negative people or surround yourself with toxic opinions. David knew this. He hid in caves, not to escape enemies, but to preserve his soul. Third, start building your strength with small and consistent actions. No one builds a wall in a day, but one brick at a time. Every day creates an unbreakable protection. Every time you forgive, even without wanting to. Every time you believe, even without seeing a sign. Every time you get up, even when you are tired, you are putting a brick in your stronghold. Here I need to tell you something that happened to me. There was a period before I published Think and Grow Rich. When my wife and I did not even have money to buy milk for our son, I was about to give up. I even went out to look for a job as a salesman again. But that day, sitting in an old chair, a passage I had read in silence that morning came to mind. Asterisk, asterisk, the Lord is the stronghold of my life. Asterisk, asterisk, I took a deep breath, closed my eyes, and asked myself, if this stronghold truly exists, then I can endure one more day. I endured, and I wrote another page, and the next day, another. And little by little, that silent strength within me began to become more real than the chaos outside. Perhaps you are experiencing something similar now. Perhaps your castle is in ruins, and you feel you no longer have the strength to rebuild. But listen, asterisk, asterisk, it is not the absence of struggle that makes the winner. It is the firmness during the combat. Asterisk, asterisk, you do not need to be the strongest. You need to be constant. You need to nurture the stronghold within you. Because everything that is built outside career, money, status can crumble. What you build inside, no one can take away. David was a warrior, but his strength did not come from the sword. It came from the certainty that he was not fighting alone. I learned from him and from the giants of my time that true strength is born from the unwavering conviction that you are sustained by something greater than yourself. And I ask you, what is the basis of your strength today? If it is money, it can end. If it is appearance, it can age. If it is the approval of others, it can turn into criticism tomorrow. But if it is the presence of God, no storm can bring you down. On the contrary, it will only strengthen you. Build your stronghold, brick by brick, day after day. Because when the foundation is right, what comes from outside does not destroy, only reveals how strong you are inside. How many times have you started a project full of enthusiasm, full of hope, believing that this time it will work, but a short time later, something inside you made you stop? It was not someone who stopped you. It was not time. It was not money. It was something more subtle, more dangerous. It was you yourself. It was that low voice that said, "What if it does not work? You are not good enough. Why bother trying if no one will believe you anyway?" That voice, which seems so rational, is actually the most powerful enemy you face: internal sabotage. In Psalm 27, David talks about enemies who stumble and fall. And do not think he's only talking about soldiers or external armies. His worst enemies, invisible. They inhabit the mind. They are the doubts that settle in, the comparisons that corrode, the fear of failure, the procrastination that paralyzes, the wounded self-esteem that makes you think everyone else is better than you. David understood that faith does not eliminate enemies, but makes them fall before your courage. And that is exactly what I needed to learn with pain, with failures, but I learned. I remember a time when, after many years of studying, researching, and interviewing men like Edison, Carnegie, and Ford, I sat down to write my first great work. And even with all that knowledge, I spent days stuck. I would sit in front of the typewriter and could not type a single line. It's not for lack of ideas. It was the fear of not being good enough. Fear of judgment. Fear of failure. That is, when I remembered the principle I had discovered in my own studies, asterisk, asterisk, he who masters his own mind can conquer any reality. Asterisk, asterisk, and I was not mastering mine. I was a hostage to my own thoughts. In that moment, I understood that success begins and ends in the mind. Have you ever wondered how many ideas you abandoned before even trying? Many opportunities did you not even see because you were too distracted by your own fears? How many times have you looked at others and thought, I will never get there? These comparisons, these self-sabotaging thoughts, are real enemies. They do not scream, they whisper. And that is why they are dangerous, because you start to believe them without realizing it. David declared, asterisk, asterisk, they stumbled and fell. Asterisk, asterisk, when you stand firm, when you feed your mind with faith, with purpose, with positivity, you unbalance the enemy. Fear, doubt, procrastination, they all lose strength when you take a stand. I want to propose a practical exercise to you now. Take paper and pen and write down the thoughts that have been holding you back. Do not filter. Write down even the heaviest ones. I am a failure. I can never finish what I start. No one values me. I always mess everything up. Now, next to each thought, write a truth of faith. Use verses, spiritual declarations, promises. Something like, I can do all things through him who strengthens me. The Lord is the stronghold of my life. If God is for me, who can be against me? And repeat these truths every day. Declare them aloud. Asterisk, asterisk repetition transforms the mind. Asterisk, asterisk, it installs new circuits. Neuroscience has already proven, with repetition and intention, the brain is reconfigured. You are not stuck with what you feel today. You can transform yourself. But I need to be honest with you, this will not happen if you do not act. Can repeat phrases. You can pray, you can write. But if you do not act even with fear, nothing will change. Fear only wins when you refuse action. When you start to act, even trembling, even doubting, your mind begins to understand that asterisk, asterisk you are in control, asterisk, asterisk. These internal enemies, procrastination, fear of criticism, perfectionism, all feed on your inertia. If you stay still, they grow. If you move, they fall. David did not defeat giants with physical strength. He defeated them with a trained mindset, with active faith. He did not dialogue with fear. He moved forward. Here is a warning that might bother you, but needs to be said. As long as you keep trying to feel secure before acting, you will stay stuck. Security comes after the action, not before. It is a result, not a prerequisite. You need to make a decision today. Continue fighting yourself, believing the lies your sabotaging mind repeats. Or train your mind to be your greatest ally. This is what differentiates those who win from those who regret. And if you are waiting for a sign, this is the sign. Take your fears, write them down, confront them. Declare your truths of faith, and today, take a step, even a small one, even an insecure one. Because the moment you decide to move forward, no matter the size of the resistance, the strength begins to emerge. You already have everything you need inside. You just need to stop believing the wrong voices. Make your mind a shield, not a prison. And you will see what happens when asterisk, asterisk, the enemies stumble. And you remain standing. Asterisk, asterisk, waiting. Now, that simple word already causes discomfort for many people. Because waiting is hard, it is agonizing, it is uncomfortable, especially when you are in a hurry to win, to see results, to prove to the world and to yourself that it is worth continuing to try. But what few understand is that waiting, when lived with faith and direction, is not paralysis. It is preparation. David knew this when he wrote in Psalm 27, Asterisk, asterisk, wait on the Lord. Be of good courage, and he shall strengthen your heart. Asterisk, asterisk, I learned this firsthand. During the years I dedicated myself to writing the law of triumph, I faced rejections, poverty, isolation, and a delay that seemed endless. It was as if recognition would never come. Friends told me to give up. Family members questioned my sanity, and inside, often the silence screamed. But there was something that kept me going. The awareness that asterisk, asterisk, God was not delaying my victory. He was training me to sustain it. Asterisk, asterisk, how many times have you felt ready for a blessing, but it did not come? Have you ever wondered why, even praying, trying to do the right thing, everything seems to be at a standstill? I will tell you, because waiting, when lived well, is the filter that separates dreamers from achievers. Today's world has trained us for haste, immediate results, quick returns, instant likes. But what has lasting value of purpose? A solid career? A restored marriage? A balanced financial life takes time to build. David was anointed king long before he sat on the throne, and between the promise and its fulfillment, he spent years fleeing, being rejected, hidden in caves. But he did not stop. He prayed, fought, prepared himself. He waited, but in motion. Then this is the point. Waiting is not idleness. It is acting with faith even when the world says it makes no sense. I often say, asterisk, asterisk, he who plants faith during waiting reaps strength during battle. Asterisk, asterisk, perhaps you are waiting for a promotion, a new job, a medical answer, a family reconciliation, or even clarity about your purpose. And perhaps you are already tired of waiting. But understand this, waiting is the training ground for your faith. It is where you learn to trust, to resist, to grow. And I want to give you a practical plan now, something you can apply to transform this waiting into strength. First, define small goals during the waiting period. If you are waiting for a job, focus on learning something new every day. If you are waiting for healing, feed your faith with testimonies, with verses. If you are waiting for clarity about your purpose, take 10 minutes a day to write about what moves you, what gives you peace, what touches your emotions. Second, tend to your mind as if it were a garden. Do not feed thoughts of failure, of comparison, of toxic haste. Tell yourself every day, asterisk, waiting is not punishment. It is preparation. Science shows that people who cultivate thoughts of gratitude and faith during periods of uncertainty develop emotional resilience and have lower levels of chronic anxiety. Your heart was not made to live in permanent affliction, but you need to decide what you plant in it. Third, do not compare yourself. Another person's timing does not define yours. David did not look at the thrones of other kings, tended sheep, then fled to caves, but he kept his heart clean. What destroys many during waiting is not the absence of the blessing, it is the presence of comparison. Remember, God works in silence. While you think nothing is happening, He is building the bridges you do not even see yet. And here's something personal. There was a time when one of the country's largest newspapers wrote a harsh critique about me, calling my work illusory, unreal, too hopeful. That hurt. I thought about stopping. But that same day, I received a letter from a young entrepreneur who said, "Your book prevented me from committing suicide." And that broke me inside, because I understood that asterisk, asterisk, my waiting was not just about me. It was about what I would deliver to the world. Asterisk, asterisk, perhaps yours is too. God is strengthening you. You do not see it yet, but He is preparing your emotional, spiritual, and mental structure to sustain what is coming. Because a victory out of time can destroy you. But when it arrives at the right time, it transforms you. Therefore, while you wait, pray more deeply. Instead of asking for solutions, ask for wisdom. Instead of asking for haste, ask for vision. Use this time to grow. Read, study, listen, observe. God is preparing you for greater things than you imagine. And if today you are surrounded by silence, if everything seems still, remember, The farmer does not harvest on the day he plants, but the earth is working all the time. And when the harvest comes, you will understand that it was worth waiting with faith and acting with courage. Hold on tight. Your waiting is not the end. It is the soil where God is planting the stronger, wiser, and more prepared version of you. And that version, my friend, will surprise the world. What truly transforms your life is not what happens on the outside, but what you decide to nourish within. If there is one truth you should take from this video, it is this. Lasting success is born when you unite faith with action, light with decision, and patience with purpose. Nothing can stop you when your mind is fixed on the light and your heart is rooted in God's stronghold. Now, if this message resonated with you in any way, know that there is much more waiting for you. The next video appearing on your screen will help you ascend another step in your journey of growth. A new revelation, a new key, a new level of clarity to become 1% better than you are now, and that, day after day, changes everything. If this content made sense, please help me bring this message to more people. Click the thanks button, ***. It strengthens the channel and shows that this light needs to keep shining. And if you wish to be part of our community with priority access to new videos and exclusive content, consider becoming a member with a subscription here on the channel. Your presence here is not by chance, and I await you in the next video. Let us go together, always growing, one step at a time.